and most of the ones that are that I have seen so far that are in the same category are a lot more expensive. So, you know, that's where my money analysis is coming from. It will vary depending on how much Guapcoin you currently own and how much you have to put in, and then how many Guapcoin masternodes you've created already, right? So the numbers are constantly moving, but they get better as time goes on. And I started doing this in, I want to say around August. So I've got 8 masternodes now since August. And the time between each is getting shorter and shorter because I keep doing, just like Akolo said, I keep rolling those earned Guap coins. I keep rolling them over until they're at 10,000 again. And then I go and get, you know, another masternode. So that's my personal experience.
Great. Well, thank you, Jim. Does anybody have any questions? Well, does anyone have any questions? Either about masternodes at first or about Guapcoin in general? Okay. Oh, go ahead, Nucleus.
I appreciate it. Thank you. So I just had a really quick question. So for those of us who've been in the crypto space for a little while, we've learned to take, you know, added precaution when it comes to securing these digital assets on a hardware wallet off of an exchange or a mobile wallet. I was just wondering, is it a part of Guap's like trajectory to be included on some of those hardware storages, or is that not even going to be considered? Is it largely going to be the desktop and the mobile?
Well, if you go to guapcoin.org/get-guap, or just go to our website and click on wallets, you'll see we do have a paper wallet that's currently available right now. So that's the most secure we have. Somebody can, you know, print it out and put it in their safe or in a safe deposit box. But we do have a paper wallet currently available.
Got you. Thanks.
And you can run, you can have your masternode go to your paper wallet. When you want to then access your money or access your Guapcoin, you will have to import it into a desktop wallet. And at that point, it will no longer be a paper wallet. But you probably knew that I was answering that for others. Go ahead, Ken.
Hey, how you doing? Great to see you again.
Great.
I just wanted to go back to the nodes.
Yeah.
Now, what about someone who doesn't really have the expertise or care to really manage their own nodes and just want to buy the nodes?
Yep, that's the first option that I mentioned, the fully hosted nodes. Mm-hmm. And as I said, right now, Tabana is the main one who's been making them. We are looking to make some other alternatives available. But at the moment, there is that option. Somebody can just simply get the node, get the coins that it comes with, and be done with it. The issue is that you then don't have 100%. Well, you have pretty good control of your coins because we do give you your private key, but there's just a level of control that some people want to have that you know, they just want to have and control it all. Whereas having it on the shared or on the fully hosted service, some people just wouldn't want to do that. But it is a solution for the person who's not technical, doesn't want to worry about putting things on their computer, doesn't want to get into having somebody else manage their computer and their masternode controller and their masternode, etc. So that's,
And it's-
so
and
you, that, you could say that's sort of like for the beginners to the intermediates. And then the people who are doing the self-hosted nodes are more of the, slightly more of the advanced users.
And what's the difference in profitability in that?
None.
Okay, so my nodes, I still get what I'm getting is about what I would get if I was hosting it myself, or a little less, I guess.
You have to
Yes.
caveat that. You have to caveat that the profitability is based off of the blockchain and how it's defined to pay out. And there's a chart out there on that talks about where we are in the blockchain and how much it pays out. From there, you have to subtract from that depending on who's doing it and what they're charging. So you have to understand that if you go to grow your guap, you're not going to get the full, because I'm in both, right? You're not going to get the full payment, but like Akolo said, you also don't have to pay to host the server. So somebody's got to pay for that. And then somebody's got to do the support work. So they take a little bit out of there, and it's all explained on the Grow Your Guap website, how they break it down. So don't think that it's even Steven. The payment is the same. The profit that you get for being invested is the same. But then if you're in one of the other ones and you're not doing it yourself, you've got to pay people out of that guap reward.
So there's administration.
That's just a little clarity.
Right. Okay. All right.
And just to clarify, the fully hosted masternodes that Tavana has set up, there's not a maintenance fee added on top of that. So the Grow Your Guap, you're 100% right. You are sharing those rewards both with the administrator and with the person who referred you. But the actual fully hosted masternodes are I think pretty close to what you'll get if you self-host a masternode.
Okay, that's what I was getting at. Okay, thank you.
Do you have a follow-up question to that, Ken?
No, that was it. I just, basically it sounds like maybe 1%, 2% is a difference. In other words, the amount of effort that I would have to exert to hosting it myself and doing all the work myself is not that big a difference monetarily from since I'm in where I'm at, having it hosted the way I have it now.
Right. You're not going to see a big difference. The big difference, not big difference, but the difference would be in Grow Your Guap. And then if you don't refer anybody there, that's where you will lose the most rewards. And that's why it is built as an affiliate program, but it's also built as an opportunity for someone without 10,000 guap to get in. Especially with the price right now, even 1,000 guap is $330. And to some people, they gotta scrape a couple weeks of income together to save up to that. So it gives people an opportunity to start to earn rewards without having the full 10,000 coins. So it all comes down to what somebody's budget is and what their interest is. Because if someone came to me and said, well, all I have is this $300 or so, I'd say, yeah, definitely. Grow Your Guap is a great solution because you're going to start earning rewards immediately. So it really depends on somebody's need and their budget.
Got it. Thank you.
Can I ask you a question, please?
Sure, go ahead.
Now, what would be from somebody who is more advanced when it comes?
Oh, sorry. You wanted to answer that question or ask a question?
No, I wanted to ask a question.
Okay, I'm sorry. Jared is just ahead of you, and then it'll be you.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Go ahead, Jared.
Thanks, Akolo. On two of my masternodes, I have a 75% stake in one when I go and look it up, and there's it's shared with somebody with 25%, and another one I'm at 25 and shared with somebody with for 75%. If I wanted to self-host my two master nodes, how do I get 10,000 guap out when I'm say I have 7,500 in there, even though I bought a full master node? I guess it's split up. And how does that affect the master node if I wanted to take and self-host my own, I guess is the question.
That's something we'll talk offline. It is possible. We just have to
Okay.
make it happen. So,
Okay, and then I was also curious too, obviously for us to get gain, there has to be something that happens to generate that gain with the 10,000 guap being secured. So this is just curiosity. What happens to the 10,000 guap? It doesn't go sitting in the storehouse and make money or make more of itself. So how does that work? How does that happen?
so Jim, the technical side of this, you want to touch on this real quick?
So it all starts, hi Jared. It all starts with the blockchain being defined, and then you start defining tokens, coins, and you define how. The idea is that a master node is what's needed in order to make the blockchain work. So
Right.
to encourage people to, and by the way, the more master nodes, the better. The faster transactions happen, all that good stuff. So to encourage people to participate and put master nodes onto the blockchain and leave them running, a reward is generated. To qualify to be a master node, you have to have the in Guapcoin, it's defined as 10,000 guap. That actually sits the way that they do the self-hosting here. It sits on your core desktop wallet, and it's locked by that wallet, and then it points to the server wallet. So the server software will then run as if it has that guap, but that guap doesn't go anywhere. It's locked. And then what happens is the rewards start coming in. And then after your wallet, and the rewards get written back to the same wallet where the 10,000 is. So as that starts happening, when you earn enough in there, you also start getting some staking rewards, which is kind of like a savings account. And those are smaller payouts. And those also shift depending on how many machines are out there. So, when everything first started, I think the payout was, I think I saw on the chart, it was like 50 guap when your server participates in solving a transaction, which is how this works. This is why this works. When it's time for my server to confirm that a transaction request that's coming through is legitimate, and I need to update the blockchain ledger, and then it gets copied out to all the other master nodes, that's what provides the security here. So no one master node can lie, because everybody has a copy of the ledger. And in order to do that, you need a server. So in plain terms, the blockchain is asking me to put a server out there, and in return, it's going to give me rewards for leaving it out there.
So that was
the rewards that come in aren't locked. So you can take the rewards out. You just have to leave the 10,000 locked, because that's part of that. They call it collateral, and that's what makes a master node operational.
Right. So that was the technical answer. So the non-technical answer is master nodes do the work of the blockchain, and they get rewarded for doing so. And it's written inside of the blockchain itself, and it's defined on exactly how it's going to happen, when it's going to happen, the schedule that's going to happen. So that's, yeah, so that's sort, does that answer your question? So there's a schedule for when new Guap coins will be created. And so when your Masternode does the work of that transaction, you are the one who gets those rewards. So the more Masternodes, the more secure the network, but then it might take a little longer for you to be in the queue.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Jim and Okolo. Appreciate it.
Hello, Colo. This is
Yes,
Miles.
is that Brandon?
No, this is Miles. How you doing?
Oh, hold on, Brandon was next. If you guys could just
Oh,
raise
okay.
your hands, that'd be easier so I can keep
Okay,
track.
raise your hand. Okay, okay.
Go ahead, Brandon.
Thank you. So I have two questions. The first one, anybody can take. If you are an advanced, I guess, in the crypto space, what would be your rationale for wanting to have a self-hosted server versus a hosted server, and as relating to security? I know you said it's not much different because you still have access to your coins, but why would someone who is more advanced want to have complete control of their coins versus, you know, other? Does that make sense?
Yeah, why, you mean, what are the advantages? So for example, one of the things we're looking to add is on blockchain voting. So once we implement that actually inside of the blockchain, it's going to be a lot easier for people who have a desktop wallet to participate in that. So that's one example. The other is you control the security of your machine and you control the security of the server that it's sitting on. So you can know 100% what the security is because you're the one who set it up, or you trust somebody who set it up. And then another advantage is, oh shoot, I just lost my train of thought. Somebody help me out with an advantage while I try to remember this one. Really, the thing is, it runs on your own machine, and it's really access and control. So for example, if something happens to the server that your Masternode is on and it's fully hosted, then you're going to have to wait for somebody else to go and fix that. But if you're more advanced, if you can move yourself around, or if you go with one of these options, if you know Unix, for example, or if you can move your way around that, you can manage that server yourself. And so if there's a problem, you can go in and fix it yourself, versus needing to open a support ticket, sending a text, making a phone call, or something of that nature. Did that answer your question? So there's a few different advantages. Largely, so there's a risk, not a risk reward, but there's an advantage and a disadvantage to each of them. And so it depends on somebody's situation, where I personally typically steer people.
Right. Thank you. Now for the second question, I think you kind of answered it. Now with the hosted server versus the fully supported server, I know you get access to vote on like this Guapcoin's trajectory with a fully hosted, you doing it yourself server. With the hosted server, do you get access to that or no?
That is something that we're in discussions on figuring out how to fix right now. We actually have a vote that will be coming out probably tonight. So we have a solution for that, for this vote.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, go ahead, Miles.
And what I want to ask the pro here, when you're staking the coin, I have a general understanding. It's almost like a lottery. Whomever has more coin may get first. you can say dibs on getting coin. But because I noticed on some days you can get you can get 10 coin, you can get 20 coin. On a good day, you can do 55 coin. So with staking, can you give me some more insight on staking and in reference to the master nodes?
Jim, I'm gonna punt to you again.
So the way that I've observed that staking works in my core wallet is that after I get to a minimum amount, I think the number, I don't want to quote a number because I don't have this off the
When
top.
you get to 1,000,
The documentation is out there. It's what?
it's 1,000.
Say again, Nicola?
It's 1,000.
Okay, so right. So when you get to there, then you start your total is eligible for the staking numbers. And I run some daily reports, and I'm just trying to pull this up right now so I can give you an idea of what's going on. And it'll also give you an idea of why you want to do this yourself, right? Because you have full access to everything, including the transactions that occur within the blockchain. So the more information you have, the better planning. Yep.
Sorry, one thing I just want to add, if you have a fully hosted one, the staking that we're talking about right now, you won't be able to do. So that's slightly more rewards that you could be in line to get. Sorry, go ahead, Jim.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem. So in February, I averaged 20 guap a day in staking. Is that my staking column? Let me just make sure. Yeah, 20 guap a day in staking. And in February, I averaged 232 guap a day. That's what's coming at me in February. Now in March, it's going to pick up. And then in April, it's going to pick up, right? Because every time I get 10,000, I throw another server out there, and I just run it back. So then instead of 8 servers getting opportunity to stake and to reward, I'll have 9, and then it's going to come in faster. So right now I'm on a pace of about 6 weeks to get 10,000. So when I bring up another one, it's probably going to cut to 5 weeks. And when I get 10 running, it'll probably cut down to a month, right? So this is the overall picture that you're looking at that determines. Let me just preface all of this by saying any one of these ways that you get involved in this, you're going to win. Because when you look at the price of this and you look at the activity that's going on with this, there isn't a lot of other coins that are out there that compete unless you're a day trader running bots and trying to chase every penny in every transaction that moves. And that's dangerous, right? Because you slip up on that and all of a sudden you've purchased a bunch of stuff high and you're selling it low, and that's not good. So if you go the straight route of what the Guap Foundation is trying to push, which is this is an investment. This is something that, some of these rewards are going back into the system to help Black businesses, to help Black people have a currency, to have some control over what happens with our money so that we can point it towards things that we think are important, not what everybody else thinks is important for us. When you look at that overall picture, and then you look at where we are right now in the amount of money it takes to get into this, you're not going to find anything else out like that out there. So my numbers probably sound like, wow, that's crazy. And I'm looking at this like I ain't even halfway to where I'm going to be before this is over. Because every time I make a nickel on this, I put it right back in.
Now, let me ask you a question. Okay. I'm sorry. So you're saying to be at 200 coin a day, that's various wallets. That's various staking wallets working at the same time, correct?
Yeah, I have 8 masternodes on
Okay.
the Guap chain, on the Guapcoin blockchain.
Okay, because when I set up my staking, I just set it, I just set it up. I have my coin there, and I, set up everything to stake, and then the system starts to stake. Okay,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
I mean, I don't know what masternode that is staking off of, but I just set up my wallet to stake coin.
Your wallet, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and so when you have a masternode, you're now in the rewards game, which is 4 or 5 times bigger than a staking a Guap award, right?
Okay. Oh, okay.
And in
Okay.
addition to that, because the rewards are coming back to the same wallet that has locked the 10,000 so that you can keep a masternode running,
Mhm.
as it begins to bring more money into that wallet, you will begin to see more staking occur. So it's
Okay.
not one or the other, it's both.
Okay,
Right.
so you're saying that when you have your own hosted masternode and you have the ability to set those 10,000 coin up to stake.
Right.
Okay.
Well,
I
you
see
wouldn't
what-
want to,
It's
wouldn't-
by definition for participating in the blockchain.
Okay.
and you wouldn't want 10,000 coins staking probably. You would probably want to take
No.
those 10,000 coins and put them into a masternode.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So instead of staking 10,000 coin, you want to set up your own masternode to stake. Okay.
And you want
Yeah,
to
or
stake
you
until
can-
you
or
get
you
to
can push it up.
9,999.
Yeah.
Or you can push it over into grow your guap.
Oh yeah. I'm doing
Right.
yeah. I am doing that now, but I just have a couple shares. But I have it,
Yep.
I'm put it out there so people can get involved. But I'm sitting on the staking. I have over 10,000
In your wallet. Yep.
Yeah, yes, in the wallet. So some days it's a little, some days it's woo, you know what I'm saying? Wow.
Yep. Yep.
And so one day I will, do my own hosted masternode, just to see the difference, Yep. Okay.
Yep.
Thanks for the info. All right.
Sure.
Okay.
Any other questions out there, either about Guapcoin or crypto?
I got one.
Go ahead.
Good night, everybody. How's
Go ahead,
everybody
Rodney,
doing
and then Nabel.
Okay. Well, I guess the one question I want to know is, on our desktop wallets, are they necessary to stay on, like as if it was because I guess it's partly a node as well, right? Should we keep it on to keep the network strong?
No.
Okay.
So the actual masternode is running on well, unless someone set it up as a server in your house, which is very unlikely. The actual masternode is running on a VPS, virtual private server. And then what's running on your computer is simply a masternode controller. So you can then also set up cold staking, so staking happens even when your computer is off. So as long as there's 1,000 Guap in that wallet, staking will occur. So without going into too many details, the Guap Foundation is running a good number of masternodes, but we also have, at the moment, a good number of Guap that are being staked. And I let me see how often. We're getting $5 rewards, probably once, twice, or 3 times an hour.
Wow.
But it would be better in masternodes, but we We have our own reasons for that, but
Okay, I also want to know, because I'm right now, I have like a couple of hundred Guap coins on the Probit, and I think I put it under to be staked. Should I just leave that alone, or is it better to, should I keep that in my wallet? Should I keep the money I have, the Guap coin I have in my wallet, in my Probit account, or should I transfer it over to my Guap coin wallet on my desktop?
are you saying you can stake Guapcoin on Probit?
I think so. If you give me a second, I'm gonna pull it up, but I'm not sure. I think it might have been an Ethereum. I mean, a Bitcoin.
You can stake Probit's coin.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
but not Guapcoin.
Right. Okay, that's what I was doing. Okay, I got you. Right. I'm looking at it now.
So, but
That's right. I
the
apologize.
general answer to your question is you don't want to keep large amounts of money on the exchange. You want to keep them in your own wallets off of the exchange. The exchange that we're currently using is in Korea. I mean, who knows what could happen? You don't want to leave a large amount of money. You don't want to leave a large amount of money there.
So once I get my Guap, because I use Probit, what I do is I transfer some of my Bitcoin and I transfer them for Guap. And of course, this whole Masternode discussion we're having now is speaking of advantages, that's definitely one of the advantages. I don't have to shave off Bitcoin to get Guap. Once I can get a Masternode, now I'm just producing Guap. So
Right.
I also I had these questions you were asking, so I'm sorry if it's like a little repetitive, but I wrote them down. With the grow your own Guap, is there a and I know I could look at the site, but just briefly, is there a minimum that you have to pay in order to get into the program? Or is it
1,000.
like some $1,000, $1,000?
No, 1,000 Guap.
Got it. Okay.
And
Thank
1,000 Guap, and you'll start. Well, I won't say immediately. Once that Masternode. Think of it this way: if there's 10 $1,000 shares or slots, so 10 people can share one Masternode. When the Masternode gets full, then it starts creating rewards. So if you were the first person to put in 1,000, you've got to wait for 9 other people to put in 1,000, or one person to put in 9,000, or the math. So it will start generating rewards once that Masternode is full.
Got it. Thank you.
Go ahead, Mabel. There you go.
Good evening, everyone. My question is, you had mentioned something about if you move to purchase Guap from one wallet to another wallet, it's not in the other wallet anymore.
That is true. In a very literal sense, imagine you've got your dress purse and then you've got your gym purse. If you take a dollar bill out of your dress purse and put it in your gym purse, it's only going to ever be in one place. And just imagine the purse is your wallet.
Okay. So let's say you took more out than you thought, are you able to move it back into the other purse?
Yes. The only qualifier that I want to clarify that is if it's a paper wallet and you then want access to the paper wallet, you import the paper wallet into a desktop wallet, and then it no longer becomes a paper wallet. It no longer remains a paper wallet, but it's still going to have an address, and you can still move the money back and forth anywhere you want, as long as you have control and access to it. So if you send somebody 10,000 Guap and you meant to send them 1,000,
right,
they're going to have to agree to send it back. There's no recall button.
All right, that's what I was asking. Thank you.
Okay. Other questions? So to reiterate, if somebody has more than 10,000 coins, and I know that there's a couple of you on here that do, and I've talked to you about it, and I'll continue to slowly and slightly nudge you in one direction to do so. But you're leaving a lot of money on the table if you don't set up the additional masternodes. So now the other thing I will say is Guapcoin, we want to actually be used as a currency. We don't want it to be just simply a stored value. So we don't want it to be like gold that just sits in a vault someplace, increasing in value, decreasing in value, increasing in value. We want people to actually utilize this coin. So that's why, you know, some people don't want to put all of their Guap in a masternode because they might want to go buy some boots like I bought last week with Guap, or buy this light that I bought a couple weeks ago with Guap, or you know, this necklace that I have coming that I bought with Guap. So, you know, books which I bought with Guap. So we're building that ecosystem slowly and steadily, so that more and more things can be purchased with Guap. So that ultimately you're going to have a manufacturer, a black manufacturer that sells their products to a retail store or a wholesaler who sells it to a black retailer who then sells it to a black customer, or any customer for that matter. And every single one of those transactions is done with Guapcoin. When you can start to see that size of what we're doing, like Jim said, $10, totally reasonable, because there's just people, it's a supply and demand thing. And so people, in order for people to buy it, there's got to be people to sell it. Any other questions? We're just coming up on an hour, which would be perfect timing. Any other questions that somebody has, either specifically about Guapcoin or generally? Oh, Thurman, I see. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Thurman. Thurman Smith, are you there?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes, go ahead.
Oh, for someone that doesn't have the technical experience, and just to say, to be a beginner in Guapcoin, and tell me if what that would be. I think you said in so many words, the minimum to become a Guapcoin holder, to join, is to buy 1,000 Guapcoin. Is that right?
No. So that's the minimum in order to participate in Masternode rewards. And the program that you would use for that is called Grow Your Guap. It's called Grow Your Guap. It's a website, but you can buy any amount of guap. I've had people send me, you know, $20 and say, hey, can you go buy $20 of guap for me on the exchange? Now, one of the things that I do for people is I help them with that transaction, because, you know, I'm be honest, Probit is not easy if you don't know what you're doing. If you're a trader, that's like easy. Oh, that's simple. But for someone who isn't familiar with trading, isn't familiar with how to buy and sell things, who isn't familiar with, you know, cryptocurrencies and money transferring and all of that stuff, it can be very overwhelming. So I actually offer that service to people, that if someone calls me and says, hey, I want to get, you know, $20 worth of guap, then I make that purchase on the exchange. Somebody calls me and says, I want to get $10,000 worth of guap, then I make that money, make that purchase on the exchange. But one of the things I do for people, let's call them my clients, is I help them inch into the market, so that, I don't know if you guys all saw, but the Guapcoin jumped up to $5, I guess 2 weekends ago. What essentially happened was there were a certain number of sell orders. So let's just say that this is the current price of guap, and then there's a sell order, a sell order, a sell order, and a sell order, and it goes up to there. Somebody came in and bought not every one, but all of the sell orders all the way up until $5 and something cents. So they had enough money to clear the board, essentially. But what happened is, now that it's way up here, the buyers know that it was just down here at 15, 16 cents. They're not going to go buy it at $5. So what ended up happening is it settled back down, and now it's settling somewhere between like 30 cents and 40 cents, let's say. So it's still twice as much as what it was before, but it's now starting to settle in. And so we want the slow, steady progression. We want slow and steady movement up. We don't want spikes to $5 down to 20 cents, spikes to $10 down to 30 cents. No, we want 10 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents. And then it might jump up to $1, settle back down at 50 cents, and then start the march again. So that would be the better way to do it. And that's why I don't take clients' money and just dump it all in and say, okay, well, let's buy all the way up to $3. Because now a lot of the coins that they just purchased at $3 right now would have value of only, quote unquote, only 32 cents. So strategies on how to buy and how to enter are important. So if you don't have any idea of that, definitely talk to me or somebody else. But the answer to your question is, if somebody just wants to get involved and just wants to own some Guapcoin, there is no minimum. This call was specifically about how to earn Guap in your sleep, and how to participate in staking and rewards. And that minimum is 1,000, which approximately is $330 right now.
And that 1,000, what are the rewards? How does that work? If somebody new comes in and buys 1,000 Guap.
You would get 1/10 of the rewards. So that would be about 2, and then you would share it. So actually you would probably get about 1.6 rewards a day. I think you would get about 1.6 Guap a day. Let me do the math.
it's paying out 16 right now. So yeah.
Right, so 1.6 times 365 days in a year. So after 1 year, that 1,000 Guap would produce you a 584 Guap. That's without the price of Guap going up a penny. That's why Jim is saying this is the most incredible, masternode structure that he's seen. So.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Miles, I see you have your hand up again. Go ahead.
Yeah. I wanted to ask, what is the best instructions that we have, or where to find the best instructions to set up your own masternode, hosted masternode?
GitHub.
So actually, the best ones, I'm going to see if I can find. Someone just posted a new one today. Let me see if I can find it.
Would they post a call, a video?
Yeah, it was a video. Here, I found it. But there's a service called Pecunia, and they will help with the process of hosting the masternodes for you. I've not used them or researched them, so I can't personally speak to them, but there is someone who is a rather large masternode holder who swears by them. So I will put that in the chat.
And one more thing.
Go ahead.
Yeah, one more thing. And when we start showing that, when we start using more of the Guapcoin for business, for different services, the more usage of the coin in the ecosystem, that will grow the value of the coin.
It will have to, because more people will need to buy it. It's just imagine somebody comes out with a new sneaker and they sell one pair.
Right.
And then all of a sudden they make a contract with a basketball team. Now everyone on the basketball team needs to buy a pair of sneakers. Their sales are going to increase. Now imagine if the whole league agrees to buy the sneakers. Now their sales increase. Now imagine if every single person in America, I mean, that's not going to happen. I'm just trying to show the example. If every single person in America were contracted to have to buy the sneaker, kind of like what's happening with the vaccine, but that's another story, then their sales are going to increase.
Yes, I'm seeing more things now. I was on this one website for telecom, and it'd be great if Guap had their own blockchain phone. We all had that blockchain phone, and we're paying for the bill with our Guap coin. That would be great, or some kind of telecom service. Because I know the hot thing now is there's a couple of coin out. They're using eSIMs. Have you come across that yet, Okalo?
What's it called?
eSIM.
No.
It's called eSIMs. This is something everybody needs to check out. Instead of having a SIM card in your phone, they're designing phones now where you don't need a SIM card. All you need is an eSIM, and that's nothing but blockchain technology. And this is going to be the new way, because you can take that eSIM that you have in your eSIM phone, and you can travel anywhere in the world and use your eSIM. So there's a couple coins out that there's a couple services that have their own cryptocurrency based around the eSIM. And I just came across that, and I was like, wow, eSIM.
So the short answer to that is because we are decentralized, if someone wants to participate in that, we can certainly have that conversation, or they can just do it. But if a company is like, that might be one of their primary missions. One of our primary missions is helping Black businesses, HBCUs, et cetera, et cetera. Our primary mission is helping the Black community.
Right. I mean,
and that's not to say we won't someday get there, or it might not. Because just think of, we are now this little teeny thing called the blockchain, and right now what we have is a cryptocurrency. But the ecosystem is as big as the room I'm in. It's as big as the house that I'm in. It's as big as the United States. Like, there is no limit to what you can do. That's why we're just at the baby stages. We're at the very early stages. And this is before, and I keep telling people, this is before, we have some big boys and girls sniffing around. Let's put it that way. This is before they've started to make their moves.
Let's say if somebody had no, I'm not a developer, and a lot of us have sharp ideas. So let's say if we had a very unique idea that we wanted to use in the ecosystem, to use blockchain, or idea for technology to use blockchain, it'll be great that we could come to a source and bring it into existence, and hey, put a patent on it.
The Telegram group would be the place to start that conversation, and then if it gets more detailed, talk to either the developer that you make contact with, or we do have a development group that is primarily for developers. But if you're interested in getting something developed, they probably wouldn't mind. But I think we have currently, if I'm remembering right, 13 projects that are currently underway on the blockchain.
Is that new project that you sent me yesterday in reference to the physical fitness? Is that one of the projects?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay. All right.
But I will say, anyone who wants to get in shape, you can do so with Guapcoin. Go to
You're going to do a presentation on that?
getfit500.com.
Are you going to do a presentation on that?
Actually, we are tomorrow at 3:00 Eastern, and I'll put the link in the chat as well.
All right, look out for it. Okay, thank you. Okay,
Yeah, that's something that Patricia is running.
Okay, cool.
So that's what started. I mean, I'll just say it openly. I'm trying to figure out a way that my clients can pay for their life insurance with Guap. I got to figure out the regulatory side of it. I've got to figure out the technical side of it, the reporting and accounting side of it. But somebody's going to figure it out. and I want it to be me. So that would just be, that would be wonderful. Any other questions?
Quick question, Okolo.
Sure.
I was just thinking as a matter of defense, when you were talking about how there was like a whale that came and was able to take the price up to $5. What happens when you know, I mean, because it's been the history for us when we start to progress, there's always seems as if something monkey run, you know, like crack in the 80s and all that kind of stuff. What happens now as we're doing this? Do we have like is there some way we, especially since it's decentralized, is there a way that we can protect it? Because it's Guapcoin, but it's not specifically for Blacks. It's intended for us, but anybody can get Guapcoin. Could there be another group that can come through and try to do a move like what the whale did recently with the $5? Is there a way we can protect against it? And
yes, we actually, so we created a liquidity fund, and this is actually an incredible story. So anybody who's interested in the liquidity fund and participating in it, certainly contact me. What I will say is we raised $5,300 for the liquidity fund, which was not enough to actually make a big impact. What we need is enough money to be a market maker. That's really what you're talking about. And so what a market maker does is he helps stabilizes the price and make sure things don't get too wonky. Simple description of it. That fund where we raised $5,300 is now worth $50,000. So we now have enough money to actually go and become our own market maker. So that is in the works, and that's something we're going to do, which will help prevent the things like that you're talking about. It will also help prevent what happened with shopping.io. I'll quickly share is they got so many sales. They got we bought too much stuff from them that now they're sitting on a whole boatload of guap that there's not enough buyers for because the liquidity isn't there. So if we can create the liquidity through the market making, then that will make someone like shopping.io feel more comfortable accepting thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of guap.
I saw that on Telegram earlier today, Okolo, and I was going to ask you, are they interested in investors buying that guap from them? Because because they could, if they've got bulk and they want to get rid of it quickly, they might be willing to sell it for less than what the market price is.
That is something Tavana indicated. I actually have the person's contact information as well, so I will do some research on that.
Yeah, let me know.
Especially because most of it, I think, was purchased around. I think he got most of it at 15 or 16 cents.
Right, and it's trading at 35
he's already doubled his
now.
money in Guap World.
And it's trading at 35 now, which might be harder to sell on ProBid. But
Right, which is why the market maker is important.
And some of us could come in. Right. And some of us could come in and buy it from him at 20 and immediately turn it into masternodes. So
Exactly.
yeah, I'm just curious. Keep me in mind when you talk to him.
Will do. Any other questions?
I just wanted to second what Jim said.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a question. I was just curious, why is it a bad thing if the whale comes in and runs the table and pushes it up to $5, even if it comes back down to double where it was?
Okay, so the bad thing is the person who ran it up to $5, it started at around 16 cents. So that means they bought some Guapcoin at 16 cents, 20 cents, 25 cents, 35 cents, 50 cents, $1, $2, $3, $4, and $5. Now, I don't know exactly how much they bought of what at those prices, but now we have somebody who spent up to $5 on some amount of guap. Now, if this is a strong holder, a long-term holder, then It's not that bad. If it's somebody who can wait for Guap to get back to $5, it's not a problem. But if it's a weak hand, a nervous Nelly, shall we say, and now they see that it's back down to 35 cents, they might freak out and try to dump what they bought and now drop the price even more. So that's why it's better to have the stair steps. It's better to have the stair steps than the quick jump ups. Now, if there's a buyer that's able to bring it up to $1, $5, and they've got the support behind it. So let's say it takes $10,000 to get it up to $1. I'm just making up those numbers. But they also have $20,000 to support it staying at $1. Now we're in business. But if somebody just throws $10,000, brings it up to $1, and there's no buyers to support it, it's going to go back down until the buyers are willing to pay that price. And if buyers have been buying Guap at 15 cents, 16 cents, 15 cents, 16 cents, they're not immediately going to come in and buy at $5. Just people just aren't going to do that. That doesn't mean that somebody else might not come in and run the tables again. They might. They might just do it for, I don't know. They might do it. They might not know. So yeah, I actually talked to the person who did it, and he's like, I thought we were going to get it up to like 50 cents. I didn't know it was going to jump that high.
Oh.
I have a question.
Sure.
When you get us a hosted Masternode, are you a part of Guap pools? Do you get rewards from Guap pools, or where are the rewards coming from? If not,
so yeah, it is from the website that used to be Guap pools. We took Guap pools down because the price was fluctuating so much that somebody could buy a Masternode at night, and the price of Guap to buy the coins necessary could be $1,000, and we could wake up and the price of the coins for the Masternode could be $2,000. So in the time that it took us to sleep, we could have to provide 10,000 coins at a price of $2,000 when someone's only paid $1,000 for them. So it was too risky for us to keep it, just buy it whenever you want, because it was just too risky because the price fluctuated too much. But they are still available. Just contact me directly.
okay. And is the hosted Masternode on your desktop or your phone? Do you have to have a platform for it running? If it's
No, it's fully hosted. All you need is a wallet. Your wallet can be a mobile wallet, a desktop wallet, a paper wallet. It can be any type of a wallet. There's nothing else you need to run. Any other questions?
Well, I'd like to encourage those who have not spoken yet, but still have questions, to speak up, or if you do not feel comfortable asking questions during this call, to reach out to Okolo. I have a pretty good understanding of all of this, and I can explain it in layman's terms. Sometimes, I guess when everyone is speaking, they're going based on a principal understanding of some very general cryptocurrency terms, but I have 6 children, and I'm able to explain all of this to my children, and they have a pretty good understanding of it. And I'm working on something called Guap for Kids and Beginners. So if you want more like basic understanding of all of this, and you want to be able to operate and manage your own with your understanding, just reach out to us today. Okolo and I pretty much tag teamed where someone needed both of our perspective and on how to understand this. And, so we're able to explain it as a team to those who already have a good understanding of cryptocurrency and to those who have no understanding whatsoever.
We love you, Sunshine. Guap for Dummies. You created Guap for Dummies. Thank you.
You're welcome. I wanted to say it without saying it.
Girl, listen, we are grateful. Okay, I just text my whole family. I said, these are the most brilliant minds on this call. Y'all need to get on here because
Yes,
you
ma'am.
guys blow me away every time I hear you. But I appreciate that, especially for the children. So I'll be in contact with you, honey.
Yes, ma'am, Miss Alice. Thank you.
One thing
Thank
to
you.
add to what Patricia just said, she said before that each of our children has a masternode. That's a fantastic thing to give to a child. Of course, it's getting more and more expensive now, but this is a fantastic thing for a nonprofit to have. Because if a nonprofit has a masternode running and they get rewards generated, money generated every single day, it's just like foundations do. They keep the principal and then they live off of the interest. So that's kind of the strategy that a nonprofit can set up. So they can accept donations in Guap, and then when they get to 10,000 Guap, then they can spin that off into a masternode. So basically, for what it's cost the foundation or the nonprofit, essentially almost no money, except maybe the hosting and the maintenance of it, which we can get down pretty cheap. It's a way to generate Guapcoin every day. And then as Guapcoin's price goes up, again, the $5,300 that we raised for the liquidity fund is worth $50,000 right now. Real money, real dollars. And for the people who on this call who've been buying since then, you know what I'm talking about. So, Thurman, do you have another question, or is that the same hand?
Yeah, I got, when you were talking a minute ago about hosted, just tell us once again, I missed it. You were talking about hosted. What's the, and you get coins or rewards, and you didn't need a server and all of that.
Yeah, so the hosted just means that someone else is doing all the heavy lifting for you.
Oh, okay.
They're managing the server side, they're managing the controller side, they're doing everything. All they're doing is they're going to send you rewards on a daily basis.
I got it.
It's a really great advantage for somebody who doesn't want the headache, doesn't want the process, isn't technical, doesn't want to pay a monthly fee, doesn't want any of that. But the downside is, if there's a problem, you got to reach out to somebody else. You can't fix it yourself. But if you can't fix it yourself anyway, then what's the matter?
Good, thank you.
Go ahead. Did you have another one, Thurman? Any other questions?
I did. I got one more.
Go ahead, Rodney.
I know you're trying to get out of here. I know. I just we get a limited time with you. All right. I just wanted to know if you could briefly. I tried Googling and stuff, but because you're good at being able to say it kind of generally. Liquidity. I remember you mentioned that as a defensive thing. I just don't really understand it. Especially, it was an issue with the shopping.io. I just want to understand liquidity and like just what does it mean in relationship, especially with this.
So let's say, well, right now Guapcoin is at 35 cents. Let's say that I want to put in $10,000 into Guapcoin. Liquidity means that I'll be able to get most of that Guapcoin, maybe somewhere between 35, 36, 37 cents. If there's a lot of liquidity, that means that there's a lot of people willing to sell when I want to buy. So if there's no liquidity and there's sellers at 40 cents, 50 cents, $1, $2, $3, and it's spaced out very, very far, that means that there's no liquidity. And that means that I'm going to have to keep buying either up, or I'm only going to be able to buy a little bit at a time in order to get my $10,000 in there have to be sellers. The exact same thing happens on the other side. Let's say I've got 10,000 Guapcoin that I want to sell. If you do, talk to me first. But anyway, if someone, let's say someone wanted to sell 10,000 Guapcoin, there's got to be somebody around 34 cents, 33 cents, 32 cents that's willing to buy 10,000 worth of Guapcoin. Now, it doesn't have to be one person. It could be a collective of people. It could be the entire market. But you want to make sure that there's enough buyers and enough sellers so that if somebody wants to get in or out, they're able to do that. So with the market making that we'll be able to do, if someone wants to buy 10,000 worth of guap, we can sell them $10,000 worth of guap. If someone wants to sell $10,000 worth of guap, they can sell $10,000 worth of guap. I mean, we can buy it. So it's like we can be on both sides of the trade, and then we make our money, quote unquote, on the spread. And that's a little bit more technical, but let's just say that somebody's willing to buy it at 30 cents and someone else is willing to sell it at 40 cents. Then that means that we would make 10 cents if we were to buy and sell it. So the liquidity just means that there's enough people willing to buy and sell so that the price doesn't jump too far and that people are able to get in and get out.
Got it.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I got it. That was good. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? No, I just want to say broadly, we're at an incredible time with this. You know, word is getting out. Every day I talk to somebody, you know, a Black person who's been in crypto for a long time, and they're like, how come I've never heard of you? And it's like, well, you know, we're a bootstrap operation and we are getting our marketing in order. We're getting our PR in order. It's like we're doing all of these things, but we're doing all of these things ourselves. We are now very blessed that we have received donations, and now Guapcoin has gone up tenfold. So those donations have gone up tenfold. So we are blessed in that regard. But we also have a very large budget. So, you know, the Guap Foundation, which is not the Guapcoin itself, but the foundation is intended to support education, is intended to support Black businesses, to support the Black community, support HBCUs. We as a foundation have a very large budget, almost $200,000. So we need to raise that much money. Masternodes is doing some of it, staking is doing some of it, donations is doing some of it, and the rise in the price of Guapcoin has done some of it. And I will drop the foundation address in the chat if anybody wants to donate some money. Donate some guap. Actually, what I'll do is I'll send you, I have a page that gives you all the options on how to donate to the Guap Foundation. We have a Cash App, we've got Bitcoin address, and we've got, of course, Guapcoin. But if anybody wants to donate to the foundation, you can find all the options there on my website. And as a reminder, or for those who don't know, I am the treasurer of the Guap Foundation, but this call is my own personal call. This is not an official Zoom call of the foundation. Any other questions?
I got you here. On my file, I was just looking at my wallet and I see this thing that says cold staking. Is that something where I could take the money I have sitting in my wallet and stake it here on my wallet?
Yes, go to Guapcoin support. Go to the Telegram group, Guapcoin support for help on how to set that up. If you need help.
Okay, thank you.
So we've got two initiatives. 100 people who do $1,000 into the liquidity fund. And then we also have 1,000 people doing $100 into the liquidity fund. So if you're one of the people that can do either one of those, reach out to me. It's going to support the community. It's going to support the coin, and you're still going to own those coins and you're going to benefit. So, you know, if we were to average it out, the people who put into the liquidity fund in the first 3 phases, on average, not every single one of them, because they got in at different times, but on average, their money has gone up tenfold. So as I said, 5,300 is now 50,000. So if there's no more questions, I did include my contact information in the chat. Rodney, you don't have to wait for these calls to reach out to me. Text especially to that phone number is a really easy way to reach me, and then we can figure out a time to talk.
You got it. Thank you.
And that offer is available to everyone. I do run off of my calendar, which I'll also include in the chat. So you've got my information. Tomorrow at 3 o'clock, Patricia's going to be running the Get Fit 500. She's launching the challenge. You can pay for that with Guap. It's just $25 to join. So if you want to get in shape, want to lose some weight, want to get your 6-pack back, wherever you are in your journey, she's got the answer. Anything else, anyone? Well, I want to say thank you very much for coming. We're going to continue to do this every week, and we're going to continue to grow. And thank you very much. Have a good night.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks,
Good night, everybody.
Take care.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Nicole.
Everyone.
Thank you.